Yeah, I took pictures.
Check mark will pass it around because that one to make sure
Morning.
everybody knows.
Click on those things where you, it's nice to have, just in case you need to.
Okay. 5 o'clock. Turn my extension on. Hopefully everybody can hear me. I call to order the Finance and Personnel Committee meeting of Tuesday, February 17th. Roll call, please.
Kevin Schmidt,
Here.
John Ortlieb,
Here.
Scott Beverden,
Here.
Mitch Swedberg, here, Wayne Schmidt,
Here.
Casey Boer,
Here.
Amy Johnson.
Here.
Thank you. Could you confirm the meeting in compliance with open meetings, please?
Yes, it is.
Thank you. I would look for an approval of or a change to the order of the agenda.
Motion to approve?
Second.
By Casey, second by John.
No. Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Did everyone have a chance to look at the January 20th minutes? Any discussion or a motion to approve?
I'll move approval.
By Amy,
Second.
by Midge, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The bills, did everyone look at the bills? And are there any questions or conversation? If not, I would look for a motion to approve.
So moved.
Moved by Wayne,
Second.
second by John. Roll call, please.
Beverden,
Yes.
Kevin Schmidt,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Wayne Schmidt,
Yes.
Casey Boer,
Yes.
John Ortlieb,
Yes.
Mitch Swedberg.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Any conference attendance?
They're not at this time, Mayor.
Thank you. Public comment. Is there anybody here today for public comment? Anybody want to speak under public comment? One more time, seeing none, we'll move on. Reports, treasurer's report, Jamie?
Sure. So I'll cover the clerk and the treasurer report. The only thing I really have to report on the clerk side right now is that we didn't have a primary election, which would have been today. The next election will be on April 7th, and absentee ballots to voters with requests on file should go out in early March. Your revenue and expenditure report on the back side of the piece of paper is through today. You would have gotten one in your email as of month end January. The annual audit is going to take place here in a couple of weeks. Something different, just since we kind of finished up a year, I wanted to highlight what we earned in interest in 2025. So our general savings account, all of this interest money is allocated to the general fund at this point. Interest earnings there were $315,000. Our equipment reserve and replacement accounts earned $36,000. Proceeds of borrowing for our TIF 5 project, that is the Merriman Acres development project. For the infrastructure work there, we earned $37,000 on that money. And then interest on the other capital borrowings proceed, that's the money that we have sitting in the bank to pay for the fire station project and the road work on that same street. In 2025, we earned $165,000 on that. Now the money, or the monthly interest earnings on that account are gonna start dropping drastically. We were earning roughly $12,000 to $14,000 a month, but now we're starting to make the big payments.
That was my question. When do we start making payments?
We've paid out small ones, and then a $200,000 one recently, and now there's like one for almost $750,000 going up tomorrow.
We'll still make interest, just not
still gonna make
significant.
Yeah, so it's adding up quickly. And then a update on the contract with the city of Kewaunee. Revenue to date is just under $30,000, and then after paying out some wages and benefits related to the contract, net revenue to the city 2 months in is just under $22,000. And that's all I have.
Jimmy, on the fire station one, being that it's money that you could pull, is that a variable rate, like will that interest rate change at all?
The interest rate changes monthly if the market changes. So this money has been in the account for a little over a year. I think we took that money out like October 2024. So at that time, we were probably earning upper fours. Gradually over the last year, it's dropped. I think right now we're at about 3.51. We don't have it invested in any CDs or anything to hold it up. We just have it in not one of the local banks. We have it in our investment company bank. So it does gradually drop, but it's not dropping too quickly.
Any questions for Jamie? I would entertain a motion to accept the reports.
Second.
John, second by Wayne, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. I don't see any old business, so we'll jump right into new. Termination of TID 1 and TID 2. Jamie?
Okay, so I just have a little memo in your packet, not a ton of detail on it, but both TIDs 1 and TID 2, we are going to work towards closing. And we're gonna work towards closing them pretty quickly, so that they are closed by middle of April, which allows the increment from those districts to go on the tax roll this year as non-TID related. So TID 1 was established in 2005, it's kind of like the downtown area. TID 2 is the Maritime Point condo area. TID 1's debt paid off in 2025. TID 2 has one final loan payment left that's gonna pay off like April 1st. Regardless, we could still move forward with closing it. And what else do I have in here? This is kind of informational for you. We'll have a resolution, 2 resolutions for you, one for each of them to approve at the next meeting. And then we've done as much as we could do of an audit on these with our city's auditor. It's kind of difficult to do because we don't have records going all the way back to the beginning of the TID or like very detailed financial records, but we have worked with them in the second half of 2025 to complete that. And then any excess revenue left in these TIDs when we close them will get distributed between all the taxing jurisdictions proportionately. That process can take up to a year, kind of once all the audits take place following the close. And then there's a one-time levy adjustment in 2026 when it comes time to do the tax roll related to these TIDs. I do not fully have a great comprehension of how that all is calculated yet, but I do have guidance from the Department of Revenue on how to do that when we close them. So that'll be a process I can update you more on at budget time, just show you kind of what the impacts of that closure are. But resolutions again will be before you in March, I believe.
Is there any money left in this?
Yeah, there's a surplus in both of them. For a very long time, TID 2 was paying money to TID 1 to help it stay afloat and pay its bills. Now they're both in the green, so there will be money to divvy up between the taxing jurisdictions on both of them, I believe.
A lot, a little,
It's not a lot,
okay,
no. Not,
now you can always move on.
better than being negative.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions for Jamie? You need no action on that.
No,
Next, Algoma High School Student Beta Program Project. We have a young man here by the name of Sean. Sean, if you'd like to come up to the podium. If you would, please state your name and address for the record, please.
My name is Sean Smith and my address is 1330 Colley Street in Luxembourg,
Thank you.
Wisconsin. So, I'm doing a project for Beta, which is a class all about like initiatives that can work with the school or the community. In this case, I'm doing the community as a whole. And it revolves around the history of Algoma and geocaching. Now, I've been made aware that not many people know what geocaching is, so I'll just do a quick little explanation. So geocaching is sort of like a national hobby. What it is a person gets like a container, such as these. It can be these little containers, or even this small, sometimes as big as a toolbox even. And what you do is, if you get permission, where you want to put it, you can include little items that would relate to the area or relate to the owner. Like, let's say this park that you went to and you love this park, you put in like your favorite toy and you put it there. And it's just like a fun thing for other people to find. And there's apps that you use, most notably Groundspeak is a very popular one. And what you do is you log it, so you put a GPS coordinate you're right, it's here, this is how you get to it, and you gotta find it. And once you find it, you can look at the caches, sometimes they even have little slips of paper for you to mark like your name, so like I've been here at this date. And it's just a cool way to involve people with just like other areas, and just allows you to see into a different person's perspective. And now to get to the reason why I'm doing this. My project, I'm calling it Algoma's Hidden History. What it is a series of geocaches will be placed at certain historical buildings, sites, and even some murals, just for kids to find or tourists to find, just to give them a show into Algoma's history, such as Von Schiele's Winery, Peterson Park, St. Lutheran are some examples. And I just believe that it would just be a good help to see the history. Inside the containers, which will most likely be around this size or the size that is in here, they'll be about this big, and they will be like around the property of wherever the site is. And inside will be a QR code, probably on the inside. On that QR code, it'll take you to a little website that'll give you the information of the building, as well as sources that I use to find it personally, as well as other links that would help you.
And so what are you looking for from us?
I'm just looking for mainly support from the council, just so that I'm not doing this off of the record and there's not random little boxes showing up with no proof of why they're there.
So how will you communicate this to people coming from the outside or even the local residents that this program is going on?
I am currently working with the Chamber of Commerce, working on getting the permission from the buildings, and I will most likely be using them to help forward this information. And I do also plan to involve the school system, because I thought this is a good way for local kids to just get to learn. I know at the high school there's a class all about local history, so that's a perfect one. I've even spoke with Mr. Denise about it, and he said he'll want to actually test it.
Thank you.
Are you currently doing this in other communities?
I'm actually testing it right now since I started it this year.
Is there a way that you're gonna be able to track how many people have come through and done some of the geocaching?
You can check it if you put it on the app like I previously stated. Every time a person finds it, they can log it and that goes to your counter. And some counters have ranges from 100 to some with 100,000 visits. So it can vary, and you can always check on it if you need to.
So you'd be bringing people into Algoma to kind of see all of our sites here?
Yeah, plus it's just a fun little hobby that I love to do.
So it looks like that you want permission, I'm understanding, he wants permission to put it at Perry Field, Peterson Park, Christmas Tree Point, the Algoma Lighthouse, and the Yacht Club, because those are city owned. So, and you've contacted the other businesses for permission to put the little piece there?
Correct, I've spoken with them and I've had the chamber forwarded professional letters to them asking for permission as well.
Okay.
The only one though is the Algoma Lighthouse is not accessible to the public.
Correct.
So that would be one that could not be used.
That is where I would put it in view of the lighthouse. I know that wasn't clear.
Yeah, and because the way Amy said it, that's what you have written, I just with clarity want to say,
Oh,
it's not public access, in view of, yes.
We meant the youth club.
Yeah, sorry, yeah, I didn't have my glasses on, I didn't mean the boat club, I meant the youth club. Those are all city owned, so I think we do have to take action.
I don't know, you need action for that?
Amy can turn that into a form of a motion, you could say
Sure.
we give permission to more or less use city property to,
Yes,
for
I would
this.
like to make the motion that we would use city property for the geocaching program as, you know, explained by Sean Smith.
Second.
You wanna put how many sites?
There are more, I've got a list of them all, if you would like to know all of them, these are just the ones that the city owns.
Let's go ahead and ask this question. Hold on, John.
Have you considered, through traveling other small villages throughout the state, have you considered, I've seen this before, but it's not necessarily a box with a QR code. It's actually like a placard that's got a small picture on it with a couple of words and a QR code. that's in plain visibility, that's either, put on the building, put on a pole? Is that something that you've seen or you're familiar with, or you considered if this is successful?
That would be, from my own experience, if it has that like plastic, as you say, on the tin.
No, an actual sign, like a small sign this big, that's posted on a lamp post. Montello is a small village where I've actually seen this, and it was actually pretty neat because you weren't necessarily treasure hunting or looking for the small boxes, but it was in plain view for tourists and people
Sure.
to come in and.
Or put on a
You're talking
post.
about like a walking tour.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah, but I think part of this is the joy of finding the individual, right?
that is correct.
That's, I think that's an interesting idea.
Yeah, it is, take it a little further.
You've been taking those, Scott, have you? You've been taking those, have you?
Every little flag, every little damage.
it was pretty neat. I mean,
Yeah,
like the old sawmill in Montello, it shows you the history and
sure.
the mines.
Yep.
Pretty neat.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any other questions or comments?
Well, John had a question, just in
That's why I
clarity
said
of,
that, yep. John, you have
Well, I
something?
just wanna know how many sites are we talking about here?
5,
And is this the limit, or will we add to?
just 5 from the city.
Say what?
5 from the city?
There's
That the
more
city-
than that, but
there are
5
more.
city-owned.
Okay, so, and that's all we're talking about, so.
Yeah.
If you wanna add a 6th or a 7th, you need to come back and say that you're doing that. I guess it's not unlimited.
There. We actually do have somebody that came to the park, I don't know if you were on yet or not, but we did have somebody come to the Parks Committee as well and ask for a different, not necessarily a program like this, but just some tourists that wanted to do it, and I know we gave them permission to at one time.
Okay,
For Peterson Park, we've never had any issues with anything that I know of with it.
Well, I like the idea of the plaque, because then you can't walk away with it. You know, if you just have a box and you put it down and somebody picks it up and
Steals.
disposes of it, it's gone.
That's
Whether
part
you
of
knew
the
what it was or
learning.
not, it doesn't matter.
That's part of the
It's big enough
learning.
to make the place look clean, and it's gone. I like the idea of the plaque. You might want to consider.
sounds like it's a pilot program, so they'll probably learn as they move forward.
And always be expanded, right?
Of course.
Okay, we have a motion by Amy and a second by Casey.
Yes.
All in favor, I think that'd be fine.
Yeah.
Hi.
Aye.
Opposed? You have your support.
Thanks
Thank
so
you,
much.
Sean.
Thank you.
Have fun.
All right, next is approval of AIA contract with Bayland Buildings for City Hall, Police Building, and Library renovation. Matt?
this is the AIA contract, with Bayland, that gives Bayland the right, obviously, to do the design for the public library, and the city hall. The AIA contract, it's a lot to read, I don't know how many of you went through it. If you look at the one that's in the finance here, it's still in the draft form. If you look at it in the council meeting right after this, it's actually taken out of the draft ink and actually a regular, but this gives them the right that they have done the MEPs. They are ready the MEPs will be ready and go out for bid. We're hoping that they will be advertised to bid. That doesn't mean they go out to bid, but advertised to bid by the end of this month. They go out to bid, and obviously, the city council and the mayor has the last final say of accepting the bids, because it is separate, bid together, but 2 separate projects.
Where's our drawings of what we're bidding on?
The MEPs will almost be done. I will have those back here in a short time frame. But what they're sending out to bid for the city hall is the last design that has been put forth to you. The only thing that's added into it now are the plumbing, electrical, and HVAC
And the last design, where was the council chambers going?
upstairs
On the first floor,
on the second floor. Yes,
not in the basement.
that is correct.
I didn't see contingency in there, or did I miss it?
There is the contingency will be added as a percentage of when the bids come back.
Okay,
So these numbers aren't based on any contingency yet, At the end of all of this, the only thing that, if we decide to accept none of the bids, we would be responsible for the MEP design.
Okay. That's
the dollar figure that you're seeing here.
Where are we at with the donation to the library?
It's there, waiting to see where our numbers come back.
Okay. So it's not legally binding yet?
It's not legally binding yet.
Was it contingent on any of the remodel of the library?
It is, there is nothing written that says that it has to be this way or that way.
It was just word of mouth?
That is correct, yes.
Okay.
Any other?
Yeah, I just, are we done with it? We're all done with that study of the, for mold and mildew and stuff like that?
Yes.
And did we ever find out about that center wall, what is it, rear wall or not?
That was not part of the mold study, that's a separate study, and that part of the study kind of got mixed because the wall, I don't believe, is coming down, because it just doesn't work out for the library.
Okay, that's fine.
Anything else?
I'll make a motion to approve contracts.
Motion by Kevin,
Second.
second by Scott. You want to roll call for that, probably?
Sure. Swedberg? Yes. Kevin Schmidt?
Yes.
Johnson?
Yes.
Beverden?
Yes.
Wayne Schmidt?
Yes.
Ford?
Yes.
Worthley?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. All right, agenda items for the next meeting, get to Matt or Jamie. Next meeting will be Tuesday, March 17th. And now I would look for a motion to go into closed session per Wisconsin statute 19.85, section 1, subsection C, considering employment, promotion, compensation, or performance evaluation data of any public employer over which the governmental body has jurisdiction or exercises responsibility, in this case, the police chief. Moved by Scott, second by John, and a roll call, please.
Beverden?
Yes.
Worthley?
Yes.
Swedberg? Yes. Ford?
Yes.
Wayne Schmidt?
Yes.
Kevin Schmidt?
Yes.
Johnson?
Yes.